Hello, it's Sonia here, The Pretty Stitch. Welcome to my channel. If this is your first time joining me, I'm so happy to have you here. So today we are going to be crocheting a hat, and I am using my eye hook or 5.5mm hook. Please excuse the rubber band. I also use this hook for Tunisian crochet, but it's just regular crochet project that we're doing today. And you're going to want to have two different colors. So we're going to be using this gray and this burgundy color here. So this is worsted weight number 4 yarn. Both of these yarns do not have a label, so I don't know what it is, but it's definitely some type of acrylic yarn. So we are going to be making this hat bottom up. So we're going to be starting with the hat band and then working up towards the crown. So we're going to get started with row 1/round 1 because we're going to turn this row into a round. So we're going to work foundation single crochet. So what you need to do to get started is chain 2. And in the second chain from your hook, you're going to insert your hook through that chain and pull up a loop. So now we have 2 loops in our hook. We're going to chain 1. And now we're going to pull yarn over, pull through 2 loops in our hook. We've created 1 foundation single crochet. So this is the top of this stitch, but we need to work 70. So in the chain that we made, so it's right here, we're going to go back in, insert our hook, pull up a loop, chain 1, yarn over, pull through 2. So now we have 2 foundation single crochets, and we're going to keep going. So we're going to go back in that chain until we have 70. And I like to use foundation single crochet to start off with bottom up hats because it does create a nice flexible stretchy band, which is what you want when you're making a hat. Okay, so I've worked 70 foundation single crochets. So this is the top here. This is the wrong side of our work. So we need to turn this into a circle. So you want to have the wrong side facing you. And I just like to run my thumb and index finger down. And then just flip it around. And then I just join with a slip stitch on top to form a circle. And I like to run my thumb and index finger down because you don't want it to twist. Okay, so now we have got our circle. So we're going to be working in rounds now. So we're going to chain 1 and we're going to double crochet right back in that stitch. And we're just going to double crochet all the way around. So we will have 70 double crochet for round 2 here. Okay, so I have worked my 70 double crochet, and then at the end I joined with a slip stitch in that first double crochet. So now we're ready for round 3. We're going to chain 1 to start. We're going to double crochet in that first stitch, and now we're going to work a front post double crochet around the next double crochet. And we're going to double crochet in the next stitch, front post double crochet in the next. So we're just going to continue around, working regular double crochet, front post double crochet. And then at the end, you will join with a slip stitch on top of that first double crochet, and we'll still have 70 stitches. Okay, so I'm finishing up my round 3. I've got 1 more front post double crochet to work, and then we join with a slip stitch in that first double crochet. So that is what round 3 is looking like. So we're going to work round 4. We're going to chain 1, and now we're going to work front post double crochet around this first stitch. So we're doing the opposite of round 3 for round 4. So our next stitch is double crochet on top of that post stitch. The next stitch is front post double crochet. So round 3 we started with a regular double crochet. Round 4 we're starting with a front post double crochet. And we just do this all the way around. And again, still having 70 double crochet. Okay, so I am finishing up round 4. I'm going to join with a slip stitch in that first double crochet. So my last stitch was a regular double crochet. So we have one more round for our band. So we're going to chain 1 and we're going to single crochet in that first stitch and just continue to single crochet all the way around. So we're going to have 70 single crochet. Alright, so I'm at the end of round 5 here. So we are going to join with a slip stitch in the back loop of our first stitch here. And now I'm going to get my second color. So I have my burgundy here. I'm not going to cut my gray because we're going to carry our colors up so we have less ends to weave in. So I'm just draping that over my hook and pulling through. And now we're ready to go. Just like to give the gray a little bit of a tug. You can see how that loop's a little bit loose, so just pull that, tightens it right up. Now we're ready for round 6, and we are going to chain 1, and we're going to double crochet in the back loop in that first stitch. And we're going to continue to double crochet in the back loop all the way around. So we're going to have 70 double crochet with our second color, color B. So the gray is color A, burgundy is color B. Okay, so I finished up round 6. So what we're going to do is we are going to slip stitch on top of the first double crochet, but we're going to switch back to gray. So I'm just putting my hook through both of those loops. I'm going to pick up the gray and then complete the stitch. And now we're ready for round 7. So we're going to repeat round 6, but we're going to work in both loops. So we're going to chain 1 and we're going to double crochet in that stitch, and we're just going to continue to double crochet all the way around. Again, we have 70 double crochet, and I just let the other color drop underneath so you can just see that little carry under there. So when you do change colors, you just want to make sure you're not pulling it real tight because that's going to mess up the tension of your work. So that's just something to keep in mind. Okay, so I'm finishing up round 7, and we're going to join, but we're going to pick up our secondary color here to complete the round. So now we are ready for round 8. So we're going to chain 1 and we're going to double crochet in the first 4 double crochet. So we've worked 4 double crochet here. So now we're going to do a double triple crochet, and we're going to be working in 2 rows down. So we're not going to work here. This is the row we're currently working on top. We're going to work down here. So I went ahead and just grabbed a scrap piece of yarn. I'm going to wrap that around just to mark that stitch. So I'm just going to mark it. You don't have to, but just so that you know. So again, the 10 stitch. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So this is the one we're going to work a post stitch. So it does seem like a big long jump. So we're going to work a double triple crochet, similar to a triple crochet stitch, but just a little bit taller. So instead of wrapping your yarn twice like we normally do for a triple crochet, you're going to wrap it 3 times. So you have 4 loops on your hook, 1, 2, 3, 4 before we get started. So now we're going to go to that stitch that we just marked and work the stitch, just like a regular post stitch. So you yarn over, pull through 2, 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 and now we've worked the stitch. So now we're going to continue. So you're going to skip this double crochet because we've technically already worked it, because this is the next stitch, and now we're going to work in the next one here. And I'm going to pull that, we don't need that anymore. So that's 1 double crochet, 2 double crochet, 3 double crochet, 4 double crochet. So now we're going to work another double triple crochet stitch. So yarn over 3 times, and we're going to work in this row again. So we're going to count 4 stitches, 1, 2, so just right next to it, 1, 2, 3, 4, and that 5th stitch is where we work the stitch. So it gives it a slant. And so then we go back to our original row here. So we're not going to work in this stitch, we're going to work in this one. So you just want to make sure you tilt your work like this. We're not working any crossing or post stitches, so we skip that next one, work in the next one. And we repeat this around, so this is 1 double crochet, work 4 double crochets, and then 1 triple crochet post stitch. So you can see how it creates that slant there. And just count 1, 2, 3, 4, and then boom, 5. And we're just going to do this all the way around until we get to the end, and I'll show you how we're going to finish it. So I'm going to keep going, finishing up this round, and then I'll meet you back when we're almost done so we can finish out the round. Okay, so now I'm at the end of round 8 here. So as you can see, we have 1 stitch left. I've worked 4 double crochet, and we've got this big gap. So we actually have to work that final stitch. So we're going to work that double triple crochet. So 1, 2, 3. And then what I do is, so here's this first one that we made here. I just count backwards. So the next stitch after this front post double triple crochet, that's a mouthful. So we're going to count 1, 2, 3, 4. So right here, or you can count from the beginning. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Right here, stitch 5, we need to work that final double triple crochet to complete round 8. And now we are going to join with a slip stitch in that first double crochet, and round 8 is complete. So we can see it, how we're looking. I think it's really cool. Okay, so now things are going to get interesting and fun, I hope. So we are going to continue working in the round, but we are actually now going to be turning. So we're going to be working on the right and wrong side of the work. So this is the right side of the work. Now we're going to work on the wrong side. So we're going to turn. We're going to work on the wrong side. We're going to switch to our other color, but not yet. So here is our second color. We're going to slip stitch. We're not even going to chain 1. We're going to slip stitch in the next stitch. Now we're going to pick up our other color to begin round 9. So I have my gray, and I'm going to attach I'm going to take my hook into that next stitch, and I'm going to just pull through. And you want to make sure that your other color is on the wrong side of the work. So now we're ready to go for round 9. We're going to chain 1. We're going to double crochet in that first stitch. and in the next 3 double crochet. So we have 3 double crochet. Now we're going to work double triple crochet again, but we are going to be working on the right side of our work. We want to make sure it's on the right side. So we're going to continue to work in pattern the double triple crochet just like we did for round 8. We're going to do the same thing for round 9 but just on the wrong side. So we want to count 10 stitches and we're going to work 2 rows down. So you're always going to be working your double triple crochet in the coordinating color, in the same color. So here is gray. We're going to be working in this row here with gray. So we're going to be counting 10 stitches again. So here's our first stitch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and here's stitch 10. So again, you can pop a stitch marker in that first stitch or in that 10 stitch so you know where to work. So these are kind of our setup rows for this. So once you get going in the pattern, you won't need to do this again. So now what we're going to do is we're going to be doing like a back post double triple crochet around that stitch. So it's not too bad. All right, so what you're going to do is you're going to yarn over 3 times like we did. So we're just going to flip it over to where we need to work, and I always just kind of push that guy aside so you can see where we marked that stitch there. Sorry, battery died. So we're going to be working that back post double triple crochet stitch, so around that stitch we marked. So when you're doing that, this guy kind of gets in the way, so I just slide it over. It's okay, you're not going to hurt anything. They're very sturdy, stable stitches. So just push that aside so that you can get to the stitch there. So we're just working that. Let me pull that guy out. Okay, and then we continue in pattern, so you're going to skip that stitch because we technically worked it, and you're going to work 4 double crochets. So you're always going to be working on top of the previous double crochets when doing this stitch pattern. So that kind of helps you to know where to work. Alright, so we've worked those 4. Now we work the double triple again, back post. So now it's a little bit easier to figure out where to work. So you're still going to work in that 5th stitch. So you're going to count 2 rows down. So right here, 1, 2, 3, 4. This stitch here is where you're working that back post stitch. And as you can see, I'm kind of pushing it out with my thumb and index finger. Like I said, you can kind of grab at it to work this stitch. So it's a little fiddly, but it's not too bad. And then we work the 4 double crochet. So you'll know that you did it correctly. So when you turn it on the right side of the work, so here you go. You're going to want it to go, so one's going this direction, the other's going that direction. So it's going to be kind of like a zigzag effect. And this guy is going to kind of slightly go over top of that one. So that's how you know that you did it the right way. So let's do the next one. 1, 2, 3. So count 1, 2, 3, 4. This one right here, we work in that stitch. So don't work in this stitch, work in the next 4 double crochet. So you're going to keep doing that around, and then I'll show you how we finish her up. Okay, so I'm finishing up round 9. So I've worked my last 4 double crochet. So now we need to complete the round. We need to finish the last double front post or back post double triple crochet. So we're going to go back to the beginning of the round. So here we are. We're going to count 1, 2, 3, 4 right here, stitch 5. We're working that final double triple back post stitch, and now we can join in our first double crochet, and we got to get it to the right side. So now you can start to see the design coming out. So we're going to work round 10. So we're not switching to our other color yet. Get my yarn. Yarn's all twisted up. Let's get her straightened out here. Okay, so to begin round 10, it is the same as round 8, but to start, you're going to slip stitch in that stitch, and then in that first double crochet, we are going to get our other color. And now we're ready to start. We're going to chain 1, work that double crochet, those 4 double crochet, all right, so now we are going to be working in this row here. So this color, we're going to be working in that color again. So now we have to find that stitch. So it's pretty easy to find again because it's going to be right next to this one right here. So as I said, once you get going into the pattern, you're going to start to see it pop up a little bit more. So we'll count 1, 2, 3, 4. And this 5th one right here, we're going to work that double triple front post stitch. So we're going to yarn over 3 times. Now we want to make sure we work behind these guys. You don't want to be in front. You want to be behind. So you're going to have to kind of shove them aside. I just kind of pull it over and just pull the stitch up like that. So I would say this pattern is definitely more for an intermediate crocheter. It's not necessarily hard, it's just a little bit of manipulation, knowing where your stitches are, things like that. Okay, so we're going to work our 4 double crochet. So we're going to not work in this stitch because we technically already worked it. Work those 4 double crochet. And now we're going to work our next double triple front post stitch. So here we go, we count 1, 2, 3, 4, and then right here, so again we have to slide that guy over stitch 5. We work that stitch. I think it's a front post triple crochet. Let's make sure we have these. Sometimes this one yarn odor likes to slide off, so put it back on. And we're just going to keep going around. So I'm going to finish up this round and then we'll work round 11. So again, you're going to be repeating rounds 9 and 10 for, I forget how many rounds, I'll let you know. But I will show you round 11 because it is a little bit tricky, but I feel like once you're kind of got a couple rounds in, you kind of just get a feel for the pattern and you kind of just know where to work. Okay, so we are finishing up round 10. So I have 2 double crochet, I need to work 2 more. So now I need to work that final stitch. So here we go. We're working with our coordinating color. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So right here is where we need to work that final double triple stitch. And I didn't have enough yarn overs. Like I said, that likes to slip off. So I just want to be mindful of that. All right, now we're going to slip stitch in that first stitch. So you can see how it completes the round, and it almost gives, this hat's almost seamless, which is really nice. Now we're going to work round 11. So you are going to be repeating rounds 9 and 10, but I will show you round 11, just the beginning of it. Okay, so what we're going to do, we're still in this color here. We're going to slip stitch right in that next stitch. So we're not even going to chain 1, we're just going to slip stitch there. Now we're going to slip stitch in the next stitch, but we want to pick up our other color. Get it ready to go. So we're working our main color. We're going to chain 1, we're going to work the double crochet. So we're on the wrong side of our work. Now we need to work our double triple back post stitch. So again, we're just going to count. So here is 1, 2, 3, 4, this one right here. So as I said, it starts to show up more where you need to work. So it's this one right here is where we need to work our first double triple back post. So yarn over 3 times. And again, you're going to have to slide it over a little bit. So I just pull it so to make room and work that back post. So if you're not real familiar with back post stitches, I do have a little tutorial that I can post a link in the description box. Okay, so we're not going to work here, and now we continue to work our 4 double crochet, and we need to work the next double triple back post. So I can look at it right here. It's this stitch right here is where we need to work. So you can kind of start to see the separation more of the double or the double crochets versus the double triple. So I just slide that guy over, like I can kind of just feel and know where I need to work and work that stitch. So we're just going to do this all the way around for round 11 here. So I'm going to keep going. Okay, so I'm at the end of round 11. I've worked my final 4 double crochet. So I've got to work that last double triple back post. So we're going to work here. So I already know what stitch I need to work in. So it's this one right here. To complete the round. So you just want to make sure that you don't forget that last double triple stitch when completing your rounds. And then we'll turn it to the right side. So you'll be able to see that all the way around has those crisscrosses there. So again, just focus, thank you. Repeat rounds 9 and 11, or 9 and 10, I'm sorry. So again, you're going to repeat rounds 9 and 10, and I'll put up how many rounds that you need to work before we start decreasing. Okay, so I have worked 19 rounds here, and I am already started with my second color. So now we are going to start turning this into a hat. So we're going to start with, we're at our double crochet section. We're going to chain 1. We're going to work a double crochet in that first stitch. And we're going to work the double crochet decrease or together stitch across the next 2. And then we work a double crochet. So instead of having 4 double crochets, we now have 3. And now we're going to work that double triple front post stitch like we've been doing. So all the way down here, because we're counting. So it's 1 right here, this one, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then in that 5th one right there. And now we're just going to keep going. So it's double crochet decrease, or together, whatever you want to call it. And double crochet. And we just keep going all the way around. So we're slowly making the top of this hat smaller. So I'm going to keep going and I will meet you back. Okay, so I finished up. I need to join and I have 56 stitches. So we went from 70 to 56. We still have a ways to go. So now let's work round 16. So I need to get ready. So I slip stitch in that next stitch. Oops, I got to get my yarn to do that. Now I'm going to get my other color I want to work with. So now we are on round 21. So I've already got my other color ready. So we are going to work even. So we're going to work a double crochet in that first stitch and then 2 more double crochet. So we went from 4 to 3. And now we're going to work that double triple crochet back post again. So we go down here because we count 1, 2, 3, 4, and then in this 5th one, hopefully by now you can figure out where you need to work those post stitches. And we just keep going around. So at the end of this round you're still going to have 56 stitches. Alright, so I finished up round 21, just working even, so I'm going to finish up the round by joining, and now I need to turn, get it to the right, oops. Now I need to turn my work and get ready to work round 22. So we're going to slip stitch in that stitch, and then pull up our other color. And we're ready for round 22. So we're going to decrease again. So we're going to chain 1, we're going to double crochet, and we're going to work double crochet decrease again, or together stitch. And now we work our double triple crochet. So now what we're going to do is it's going to be in the 4th stitch. So we count, because we're going to work in this color, 1, so this is the double triple crochet, 2, 3, this is the decrease, and then here is that 4th stitch. So instead of working in the 5th, we're working in the 4th. So still the same stitch pattern, just working across less stitches, and then we go and work double crochet, double crochet decrease, and we're going to do that all the way around. So at the end of this round, you're going to have 42 stitches, and then for round 23, we're going to work even. So what you're going to do is you're going to work 2 double crochet and then work your back post double triple crochet stitch. So I'm going to go work, I'm going to finish up this round, so this is round 22, and then I'll work 23 and I will meet you back. Okay, so we are at round 24. We're getting close to being done. We have 42 stitches. So what we're going to do for round 24 is we're going to chain 1 and we're going to immediately work a decrease stitch, or together double crochet, and now we're going to work a triple crochet front post. So we're still working in patterns. So now what we're going to do is we're going to work in the 3rd stitch. So here is 1, 2, 3 right here. 1, 2, 3. So working that front post. So we don't need to work it like less of a slouchy hat and more form-fitting. You certainly, can start your decreases sooner. All right, so let's begin round 25. The double triple, because it would be too long. All right, so let's work the decrease again, and then just the triple crochet front post stitch, it can be a little tricky because you're working around the decrease stitch, so it's a little bit wider, but it won't show up. It'll be fine. You won't see. It's because that one covers it up there. So I'm just going to keep going all the way around. So we're going to have 28 stitches. So we have 2 more rounds to go after this. So round 25, we actually are going to do another decrease round. All right, so I finished up round 24. So we have 2 more rounds to go. So if you do not like how tall this hat is getting, you can certainly start your decrease round sooner. All right, so let's begin round 25. So we're going to go onto the wrong side of our work. We got to work our slip stitch here. So again, we have 28 stitches. We're going to do 1 more decrease round. So we're going to get started. Got to pick up my other color here, my main color. Okay, so let's begin round 25. So what we're going to do is we're going to do a double crochet decreased back post stitch. That sounds like a lot. So we're going to yarn over. We're going to go right back in that same stitch here, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2. We're going to yarn over again. So now we're going to work in the 3rd stitch. So right here is our post stitch here. Here's a double crochet. So this double crochet right here is where we're going to work the back post there. So I'm just inserting my hook around, pulling up a loop. So we yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 3. And we're going to do that around, and we will have 14 stitches. So in our next double crochet stitch, insert your hook, yarn over, pull through 2, and then right here, so 1, 2, 3, that one there, we work that back post stitch. So we are just keeping with the pattern, but we don't need to have our stitches as tall because we have worked less. So at the end of this round, we are going to have 14 stitches, and then we'll just have 1 more round to go to finish up this hat. And again, you can start your decrease section earlier if you want, if you don't want your hat as slouchy. All right, so I finished. I already joined and turned working the right side, so we just need to work 1 more round So I'm just going to slip stitch. These stitches got a little tight there. I'm going to pull up my other color. I mean, you could finish up with this color. Actually, I think I will. I'm going to finish up with the gray. I think that will look nice. Or what do I want to do? Okay, I'm going to finish up with the gray. So what we're going to do is we're going to chain 1 and we're just going to single crochet. So this is round 26 all the way around. We're going to have 14 single crochet. Alright, so we've worked 14 single crochet around, so you can see that hole is a lot smaller what we want. So now we need to close up this hole. So you can sew it or you can cut a tail and then weave around with your yarn needle, but I'm going to show you my hook closing method that I like to use. So you're going to need at least 2 hooks, possibly 3. I can do it with 2. It can be a size up, a size down, the same size. So I have an H and this is an I. So you probably noticed I started off with this color for my I hook with the rubber band. I left it downstairs and I'm upstairs filming and I have this one up here. I didn't feel like running downstairs to get the other color. It's still an I hook, just a different color. Alright, so what you're going to do is I didn't join yet. I actually am not. So I'm going to slip stitch right in that next stitch. Pull up a loop. I'm just going to continue to slip stitch and pull up loops until I can't do it anymore. So we're not working them off, we're just pulling them up all the way around. Okay, so I don't think I can put any more loops on my hooks. I'm going to grab my second hook. It can get a little fiddly, that's why you might need 3, but I can do it with 2. Alright, so in my next stitch, I'm going to insert my hook, grab that yarn, and pull up a loop. And I'm just going to continue to pull up loops until I get to the end. Again, if you don't like this, just sew it. However method you like to close your hole, feel free to do that. Alright, so I've got my loops pulled up there. So now what we're going to do is we're going to work a giant slip stitch all the way around. So I am going to take my yarn and we're going to pull through all the way around. So you kind of want to take your time a little bit. You can do 1 at a time, 2 at a time. So 2, 2, 1. So that's the last one on that hook. So now we're going to pull this hook and put it onto the other hook. Or pull that loop onto the other hook, not the other hook on the other hook. That doesn't make sense. So now we have to make that loop tight, because you want it fairly tight, and just continue to go around. Now if if a loop falls off, then you will need to start over. So that's why I suggest maybe 2. I'm kind of getting a little crazy here with pulling 3 through, hoping it'll work out. Alright, so we've got them pulled through. So sometimes it doesn't pull through easily, like you can see. That's okay. So just keep your hook in the loop. You're going to cut your yarn. Doesn't mean you didn't do it right. It just gets a little tight sometimes. So you cut your yarn and you're going to take your tail and we're going to feed it through the loop. So yarn over, pull through that loop like that. Now is where the magic happens. Pull it really tight, as tight as you can. And you can see you have a nice, neat finish there. So what I like to do to completely finish is I take my hook, I put it inside the hat, I poke it into that center, that hole, I grab the tail, wrap it around the hook, pull it through. And then I go back in, side the hat, and I just pull that tail as tight as I can. And that just kind of gives it that nice finish there. So you have a nice, neat finish at the top of your hat. So of course what you'll need to do is you'll need to weave in your ends, block your hat if necessary. You could add a pom-pom if you want to, and your hat's all done. So I did make another hat. I still need to weave in the ends, and I kind of like the colors. I don't know, I'm not 100% sure. This was the first one I made, so here it is. This one, like, I don't love this. Like, I was playing around, and I mean, my daughter said it looks fine, and I do think it looks nice. So here's the top of it, and she thinks that the colors look very more Christmassy, which they might, but this is the prototype hat, and then this is the second one. So I really like how they both turned out. It's a nice, warm, squishy hat. So I hope you enjoyed this project, and if you did, please like and subscribe, and thank you so much for watching.